With Resident Evil 2 returning this month and reimagining Raccoon City as a deadlier hive of the undead, we started to think about the most important things in life. Which weapons would we want with us if we were ever stuck in the middle of a zombie apocalypse? When it comes to guns, swords, and all manner of exotic tools of destruction, video games have never been short on ideas for death dealers. With that in mind, we scoured decades worth of video game history to find those weapons which would work best when the world goes to hell in a handbasket. Here's our look at the 10 weapons we'd want to have locked and loaded for the apocalypse. Predator Bow, Crysis 3. At some point, round about the time when the bullets run dry, you'll find you need more stealth than cojones to weather the zombie apocalypse. Over the last couple of years, video games have developed a fetish for bows, and it's not hard to see why. From The Legend of Zelda to Destiny, bows are some of the most popular weapons around, but we'd happily place our money on Crysis 3 and the incredible versatility of the Predator Bow. Whether you're still after a big impression with explosive arrowheads, or you want to go with the tried and trusted stealth, this is one weapon we know can deliver the goods. High Frequency Blade, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Sooner or later, you're gonna run out of bullets, and that's when you're going to need to get up close and personal with the zombie hordes. And while the obvious answer for this scenario would be the lightsaber from Star Wars, Metal Gear Rising's infamous high-frequency swords still top that weapon, thanks to it being a video game weapon first, and the coolest damn thing ever! With the ability to separate molecules from one another, this is one sword that has no problem slicing and dicing its way through even the chonkiest of zombies. Bayonetta's hair. Forget about guns and swords, because Nintendo's most famous witch may have all of the entries on this list beaten with nothing more than a few strands of her own hair. And by hair, we mean a magical collection of keratin that can be whatever Bayonetta wants it to be. A skin-tight costume, painful tendrils, sharp spikes, or even a gargantuan beast that can beat demonic titans into submission. Yo, she must spend a fortune on hair care products for all of that power though. Prometheus lens, Destiny 2. Let's say you're fortunate enough to get your hands on something a little bit more exotic, a term that has a special meaning in Bungie's Destiny games. While granted, everything from rocket launchers to hand cannons exist as high-grade weapons in that universe, we would happily grab the impressive Prometheus lens as our zombie-slaying weapon of choice. It has range, reloads with every kill, and simply gets more powerful the longer you hold the trigger down. Which would make it perfect for crowd control, we reckon. Plasma Cutter, Dead Space. The beauty, if you will, of the zombie apocalypse is that literally anything can be a weapon when the dead come knocking on your door. From sledgehammer to cars, there's actually a certain charm in seeing tools turned into life-saving weapons that can help stave off the dead. Dead Space's Plasma Cutter is one such example. A handheld device that carves out a unique place for itself in this list, with its ability to dismember enemies and leave them ripe for a curb stomp. It proved its usefulness against the quick and agile enemies in EA's classic space horror trilogy, so just imagine what it could do against a regular zombie. Leviathan Axe, God of War. Okay, hear us out. Sure, the Blades of Athena might be the obvious choice if we were to borrow a certain weapon from the arsenal of Crysis, but let's be honest here. We would probably chop our own legs off with those chainswords before we'd even manage to decapitate a single zombie. On the other hand, the Leviathan Axe is both easy to use and functional in any scenario. Sharper than a Jimmy Carr comeback and able to return to your hand if you're a klutz and you drop it, the Leviathan Axe isn't just handy in any scenario, It's probably the most satisfying to use. Dubstep gun, Saints Row 4. Proving once and for all that dubstep may be humanity's worst invention since the internet, Saints Row 4 manages to weaponize the horrid screech of random sound effects having a stroke and combine that cacophony into a tool of mass destruction. Granted, the dubstep gun may not have as much destructive potential as some of the other weapons on this list, but trust us when we say that not even The Walking Dead can stand the sound of a flash-in-the-pan musical genre for long. Lancer, Gears of War. If we're talking guns, what better weapon is there than the Lancer that was made famous in Gears of War? It's massive, packs an absurd number of bullets into every magazine, and can fire shots off with pinpoint precision. If you're familiar with this gun, you know exactly why anyone would want it when dealing with the leg biters. That delicious chainsaw mounted on it, an impossibly sharp piece of engineering that has the potential to slice through the undead like a hot knife through butter. Pandora Briefcase, Devil May Cry 4. What can the Pandora Briefcase do? It's more of a question of what it can't do. Depending on the scenario, this trendy piece of luggage can transform into a rocket launcher, provide covering fire as a submachine gun, and even turn itself into a massive mobile weapons platform. With 666 possible transformations, the Pandora is unlimited carnage in a handheld package. The BFG 9000. We've saved the best and biggest for last. When the chips are down, all hope is lost, and you've only got one gun to turn back an entire city of the infected, what could be better than Doom's classic room cleaner? The BFG 9000 may be stupidly massive and close to impossible to wield, but it's still a weapon that can kill anything it happens to be pointed at. An extinction level event that can wipe out a species in one single shot. It's the one weapon we'd love to have with us when the dead walk the land once again. If we could carry it, that is. And that's our top 10 of weapons that we would love to see rain death and destruction on a zombie apocalypse. If you think that we missed something vitally important, let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe! See, Darren, this is what happens when you leave me to do the outro on my own.
Oh, god damn it, Tracy!